The program we'll be looking at today is not your everyday utility. It is specifically meant for audio enthusiasts and people who want to start an internet radio right at their home. This is Leo from Fall Critic, and today we will review Sam Broadcaster Pro. Now, I have to admit that this is my first time reviewing an audio broadcasting software, so we'll learn as we go. First of all, it has an installer that is only 26 megabytes, which is pretty small. And during installation, it did ask me what type of database I wanted to use for all my tracks, and I selected the default option. They also have the ability to select your own custom database like MySQL or anything else that you like. And apart from that, the installation was pretty straightforward. Now, this is the user interface. Now, of course, it's not meant for your everyday user, and if you're just new to this, you aren't going to get overwhelmed. But basically, I'm going to try to break it down in a very simple way so that everyone can understand. So Deck A, Deck B, and Auxiliary 1, these are your different players. You can put tracks on them, and you can play or pause any of them at the same time. I mean, they can work simultaneously. Here you have basic sound effects that you can add on the go, and then you have your fade control. This is a dedicated tab just for the fade, the type of crossfade that you want. You can do a manual one, you can do it auto, and there are a lot of advanced settings over here. Then you have the voice effects, in which you can either do two types of things. What you can do over here is you can turn your microphone on, and you can press to talk, and you can talk live while everything else is still broadcasting. Or you can record a custom clip in voice tracking, and you can add it to the stream anytime you want. You can play and pause it just like any other of these tracks. And this is your statistics relays graph, and this is your master volume. On the right hand side, you have the tracks. There's a playlist, and there's history of the tracks that you have, and the queue where you can add tracks that you want to play next. So we're going to do a very simple demonstration here, and I'm going to try to show you how this whole thing works. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to have to add some tracks over here. So I'm pretty sure I have some tracks here. Yeah, as you can see, these are all my tracks. And I'm going to add 3 different tracks to all these 3 players. So let's say I'm going to add this one here. And we'll add this one as auxiliary, and I'm going to add this one here. So now we have our 3 tracks set up over here, and we can play them at any time. There you go. So I can go back to the beginning, I can scroll to any portion, and I can directly start playing from there. So as you can see, I can just scroll all around and I can start playing. We have the EQ settings for each of these decks, and you can totally mess with everything. So now I can play something else while that's going. So we're going to start the second track now. As you can see now, they're both playing at the same time. I can stop the first one whenever I want, and I can stop the second one whenever I want as well. And I can play the third as well, along with the first. So, that's how you can manage all your 3 at the same time. So how do I talk while something's playing? That's what I'll be showing you now. So we have voice effects. I can turn the mic on, and I can press to talk. So now you're listening to me. So as you heard there while I was pressing it, you could hear me speak, but of course there was terrible echo because all of this is going out to the speaker, and it's getting back into the mic, and that's causing the reverb, but ideally you wouldn't have that, so it would be very nice. And you can do voice tracking. So hello, we're recording now. We're going to be playing this. And now. So hello, we're recording now. We're going to be playing this. There you go. You can play it anytime during some of these clips. So that's ideally how it's going to work. Of course, I'm not very good at this, as you've probably already noticed. But if you are a pro sound producer, you should be able to get absolutely wonderful results out of this. I mean, it was pretty easy for me to get started, considering that this is my very first go at something like this. So you have your master volume over here. You can change it here or here. And you can customize these windows. You can choose what to have and what not to have. And that's your basic user interface. So now we'll take a look at the configuration a little bit. And to stream to the cloud, you first have to sign in, create an account, and you can become a member. And then you can add your station details and you can start streaming. Then you can look at your statistics. Here's a simulation of how your audio mixer is actually working. Then you have a dedicated section for crossfade and fade outs and fade ins, and you can actually mess with the exact way that it's done. Then it has advanced features like gap killer, and it has rules for playlists. And then you have your usual HTTP settings and some picture directories and your website picture location. And these are basic station options. And then here's your HTML output. And you can host it on some web server. And that's that. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to get started. And if somebody's really an enthusiast for all this, they'll probably have a lot of fun with this software. Of course, this is not something that everyone needs, but hey, if you're someone who is interested in something like this, I hope I did the software justice and I gave you a taste of what you're going to experience. So that's my overview of Sam Broadcaster Pro. I hope you enjoyed this review. It was quite a bit of fun playing around with something like this. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more, and check out the written review at www.fallcritic.com. This is your host Leo, signing out, and I'll see you in the next one.